Hello and welcome to the Poets React. I'm Mark, poet with guitar. I'm from Washington, D.C. And tonight, or today, wherever you are, I join my panelists and myself to react to a poem that we know very little about, have never seen, have never heard, and we'll react. And hopefully you'll join us in your reaction as you're watching this so we can all join along. Marissa, take us next step.
Hello, welcome, my esteemed poets for Hat Day. I'm so excited for Hat Day. Thank you to Lawin for that wonderful tradition now we are going to have. I am Marissa. I'm a spoken word artist and poet in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Don't forget to communicate with us in the chat. We love when you ask questions. We get to interact with you and have a lot of fun. Lawin?
Hey everyone, this is Lawin. I'm based in Manila. Past few episodes I've been on the road, but no, I'm back here. So looking forward to better signal. And thanks for everyone who's joined. If you haven't subscribed yet, you know the drill. Like everything that we have because you're awesome that way. And Kimlin, welcome aboard.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kimlin, and I am your Arizona-Singapore connection. I'm a spoken word artist as well as a visual artist. And so, without further ado, send in the poem.
Send in the poem.
This is Hadia Habib, and I'm from Karachi, Pakistan. I'm a non-fiction writer and a poet. Today, I'm going to be reciting one of my poetries on love and heartbreak. To the girl who used to laugh, who used to sing, who used to throw caution to the wind, writing letters, oh baby, knowing I can't be yours, sharing goodbyes, oh so unexpectedly. When you try so hard to read my face, oh baby, knowing I can't be yours, your silent grace speaks yet again, oh so silently. To the girl who used to laugh, who used to sing, who used to throw caution to the wind, where are your laughs, your synchronized melody, your playful words? Oh baby, knowing I can't be yours, ironically beautiful was this love of ours. Thank you.
Knowing I can't be yours.
To me, this was a lovely lyric for a song. And I think there are certain lyrics, because it had the transparency of good lyric. And, use some of the devices of good lyric, like "Oh Baby," I mean, you could just see that being pelted out. But as far as becoming, when does a good lyric transcend itself and become a poem as well as a good lyric? I don't think this one does. I think it just lays there as being a good and somewhat typical lyric of a love affair, and and it's very sweet. It's like good lyrics should be, but it doesn't have any bite to it. It doesn't have any Joni Mitchell heartache. Or
I feel like it's a little emaciated.
Yeah.
Like it has the bones, right? The bones are there, the structure is there. She has the repetition into the second part of the poem. But I kind of wanted her to do like a secret garden thing, like where have you gone? And she discovers where she went, or she evolved into something else and she's been here the whole time. I was kind of expecting, like a little bit more, like you said, Mark, like bite. But yeah, I kind of wanted, I mean, it felt whimsical and a little bit, jovial and rudimentary. But I wanted, like you said, I want more. Bite it.
I think the trick for this one is if there was another voice who would have read it, it wouldn't have been as beautiful.
Yes, she was
I
very
think
beautiful.
the voice was borderline distracting because it is a darling of a voice.
Yes.
But yeah, it gets in the way of, yeah. That's why I was trying to think of it as if, what if some other schmuck read it? It wouldn't have sounded as nice, honestly.
Like if Mark would have read it, right?
I don't know, but I mean, in that sense, I do agree.
No.
I do agree with you guys that
I would have put it to music.
yeah, no, it's like
I would put it to music.
It would have been a
It
Grammy
feels-
Award winning.
it actually feels
Well, it depends, and then it depends who's going to be singing it.
yeah.
Well, you know what? I felt here. This is my react to it.
Oh, Camlin.
You know,
I love it.
it's got that hard and the break. It's got no more singing. These my favorite phrase was synchronized melody. That was kind of fun, but for the most part, I really struggled with finding that maturity that I look for in a poet. But it could be because I'm old. And I've heard more about life, and I've seen pain, and I'm like, honey, this is really like, it feels like a young person wrote this. It's like a young person's song, and first heartbreak, but okay heartbreak,
Almost, the best way that we can get inside of each of our own heads, right? Because we all kind of have different philosophies on poetry. I think one of the best ways is to like try to actually get into the mind. So I'm going to try to get into Lawin's mind here. Wait, let me flip my phone up. Okay, like.
Okay,
Let
go
me
for it.
see. Was it the voice or was it the content that was distracting? Voice, content. No, I think definitely it was the content. But I looked through it through Lawin's glasses. Hi, Lawin. I can flip my head almost like a sailor boy. Too bad I don't have a black shirt on today.
It was read really very sensually, but there's not that much sensual in the work. So she had that ability to, and just because it's like this, it's the sweet bird of youth at that moment in womanhood. That's where she is, this poet from Karachi, and so it has it has a wonderful feeling about it. You can't help it. It just goes with the territoire, right?
Yeah,
I would have wanted to know what happened. I mean, obviously there's some sort of pain. There's some sort of
she got dumped.
Yeah, but what was it? Was it a parental?
She got someone else.
Is it just that? I don't know. Did she discover she actually preferred girls to boys?
No, because she said, I'll never be with you. And then, at least in the tone, it sounded to me like it was the longing for the thing you can't ever have. Mm-hmm. And it could be that she was having an affair with a married man that always fucking winds up being the problem, right?
Could be,
but I
think, have to be. That's, for me, that's
or
why
maybe he's gay and he prefers someone else. That happens a lot too, right? Where you just are not compatible physically and emotionally together or sexually together. But certainly it was not meant to be. At least she was smart enough to know that it wasn't going to happen, and that had to have been catalyzed somehow.
Sure.
It's tragic. But she's being real, and that's why I kind of wanted her to find herself at the end. Like, this is me, and this is my love. This is what I need.
And of all the great songs and lyrics of love and this subject, right? I mean, there's so many. I can think of that transcend that. Like even from the incredible string band, First Girl I Loved. If you know the song, it's endless. The amount of good love song that transcends lyric, and so I think like that. Yeah, sure.
If I could talk to Hadia, I would encourage her to try reading it in different ways. Read it really angry. She read it really sweetly. Try different voices. So play with it, and that might actually give way to a second part or more content. And that would be, I want to hear more. Like Lawin said, there's something behind it. It's really sweet on the surface, but beneath there, that's a story. And that story isn't put out to us yet. And I want to hear the yet.
To be a
And
poem,
I'd like to know what happens next too.
it
I'd like
needs
to-
music. Also, it needs music without music. In order to be a poem, it has to have music. This is a lyric that needs music in order to make it work more successfully. But a poem will have its own inner music. The good stuff by the great lyricists, by Leonard Cohen or whoever you want to talk. So many, of course. Their words have music.
I mean, since you brought up Cohen anyway, and you're talking about loss and regret, I'd like to bring up Tower of Song, for example, if you're familiar with it. How this incredibly talented singer actually has an unrequited love who he has to drift away from, but in spite of all the sadness, he retains this strength of being a singer, of being a musician, because he lives in the Tower of Song. Right. If you guys have a chance to go through the lyric on that one, I mean, wow, that's amazing shit.
Well, we all have our favorites. I'd love to hear anybody out there tell us your favorite songs as well.
Yeah. Also, another note for Hadia, you talk about ironical beauty. I want to hear more irony. Right now, it just is very presentational. I want to hear more push and pull.
Actually, I want to jump in on that one, Kemlyn. I don't want you to tell me ironic. I want you to show me ironic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that Eden Garden, right? Like the opening, the peeling back of the onion of the story of the person, of the poet. Like, what's next, right? It would be really funny if she was talking about this and it was if she never saw herself until the end of the poem, she saw herself. Because so much of our enlightenment comes after we write, because we're being mindful about our experiences and our thoughts. Maybe she discovered that really all she needed was the self-love that she had on the inside. Mm-hmm.
Or maybe she discovered the one little thing that was a deal breaker. It's like, I hate it that you broke my heart just because you like pink socks.
I would date someone who liked pink socks.
You would,
maybe Lawin, that's a deal breaker for you. I mean, I gotta take off my Lawin glasses for that. Maybe they're like, they won't date you if they're like aubergine color.
All right.
Well, I want to encourage this poet to keep at it. I mean,
yes.
and most importantly,
tell us what happens next.
And most importantly, to read poetry. Read good poets from all over the world. There's so many, and there's so many who write so well in this theme and make you bleed when you read it. And not that we have to bleed or cry, but we have to feel. We have to feel what you're feeling, and you'll get there. Just keep at it. We all do.
Whatever you do, don't stop, right? We're coming to the time at the end of our show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow us, please, Poetry Global Network. We have so many awesome shows. Poets Lighthouse tomorrow night. Don't forget, Bottoms Up is going to be here in 13 and a half hours. We're going to have Bottoms Up. I'm very excited about that. And remember, at Poets React, as we react to the poetry we hear, we hope that you take action with your pen so that maybe someday we'll be reacting to your poem. Good night, everybody.
Night all.